Good morning. Good morning. I think I am on with both. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. So, today is Wednesday, September the 4th, and I am Delia, the owner of D&T Investment and Consultant LLC, where I teach people how to invest in the stock market. If you need to get in contact with me, of course, it can be on my website, which is www.dtinvestmentglobal.com, or you can reach me on my email address, which is dtinvestmentglobal@mail.com. So we're going to jump right on in it. Welcome. When you come on, please share this broadcast. I know I normally jump straight into the topic, but I'm going to ask you if you could share this information with someone that you think that can benefit off this. We're going to be talking about this new app. Anything that I talk about, of course, is majority of the time is related to the stock market, related to some type of business or some type of business books and that things of that nature. But we're going to talk about apps, and we're going to talk about this particular app and related to payday loans. So for those who do not know, I did a teaching last year on payday loans, and I got quite emotional on the teaching because I want people to understand what's going on in the financial industry, and it can be a lot of red tape if you kind of look in the background of what these corporations and these companies are doing, because they are doing a lot that you really don't that you may or may not know they're doing to continue to disenfranchise certain communities, and I think certain communities are being taken advantage of if they don't know exactly what is being taken place. So once again, my name is Delia, the owner of D&T Investment and Consulting. Welcome my group, the Winner Circle group on Facebook. Welcome Periscope. And welcome YouTube, because I know this video will be uploaded to YouTube. I know I'm talking in my group as well as my regular friend list on Facebook and Periscope. You guys as well. Make sure you share this information. So let's jump on it. So this new Payday app that has been on the market since, I believe, like 2002. Is it the same thing as payday loans? We're going to see. So we have this startup app, and this app is used to provide money to individuals that's living paycheck to paycheck. So it's similar to, if you think in terms of a payday loan, it's similar to that, because payday loan has a similar system. But this company allows individuals to get $100 to $500 per transactions. So what I found out was pretty interesting is that it specifically targets people that's in a certain income bracket. Because the research was stating about 14% of the individuals that it was targeting didn't have a bank account, which is 40 people that was making $40,000 or less. And what's different than a payday loan company, because payday loan companies have a physical location, but this is an app that you can download on your phone. Okay. So, and it was 2% of the individuals that didn't have no bank, that was like from 40,000 income to 100,000 income. So they do their statistics, and they try to find out who this product or who this service might be beneficial. And what I thought was interesting, when I looked on their company website, the company website stated that it was no fees, or it was nothing, that it was quote unquote charging the people in order to download this app. But if you look on the back end of what had actually taken place with this company, they are receiving a crazy profit for you being a part of their customer base, and for you actually using their company for these loans. So they consider themselves to be cheaper than Payday Loan. I'm going to tell you the name of the company because I'm going to get into some facts. They consider themselves to be cheaper than Payday Loans. They consider themselves safer, like a safer alternative than short-term loans and Payday Loans. And it was so interesting that I found out that 18.6 million payroll transaction that was taking place, and it was equivalent of $3.15 billion. So if you guys understand, this is an industry that's making a lot of money. A lot of money. The payday loan industry has $6 billion in revenue. That is crazy. So you see why when I did a teaching last year on payday loan, is it legalized loan sharking? And it will be uploaded on my YouTube channel. You can find that channel with Delia Williams on my YouTube channel. You'll see a lot of videos of me because I've been recently uploading those videos. And what I found out that was very interesting as well, it was $24.5 billion that was in overdraft fees. So you see why they're developing payday loans and why they are developing these apps to target certain people. I cannot stress that enough. That's why financial literacy is so important. So you will know what's going on. You may say, hey, this company is for me. In the back end, when you do your proper research, you can find out maybe they're not. So I'm going to jump in and I'm going to tell you the name of this company that I did a research on was called Earned In. And it's an app company that's been out since 2012. They changed their name. There was another name, now they're Earned In. So what was interesting when I found out about this particular company, that they use a tip amount. So once you become a customer for Earned In on their app, they use some different strategies. One, they use a tip amount. So say for instance, if you was to borrow $100 to $500, which that is the loan amount you can borrow for this company. Okay, the loan amount is from $100 to $500, and they use this system called tip. So you can tip. Say for instance, if you was to tip $2, and the back end, they say, oh, they're not charging me a fee. But if you look at their payment, how they set it up, it is similar to a payday loan. Let me tell you why. Because the annual percent rate off of that $2 tip that you're going to be paying the company back is going to be like a 260 rate of return rate to pay this company back. Now they're telling the consumer base, you and I, they're telling us that we're trying to improve the gap that the payday industry has been doing to the people. We're trying not to have these certain fees that's established, that's going to charge you over from 400 to 1,000% rate of return. That payday companies are legalized and they're able to do so in certain states. They said they were protecting against overdraft bank fees and penalties. They're saying all these things, but if you dig deep, you can see once you're tipping off of that 100, tipping off that 200, 300, 400, and $500 loan that they allow you to have, and you're tipping a low amount, which can be $2, $5, and so on and so on. When they charge their fees, you're going to have a high rate of return, the same as payday loan. However, it's a little cheaper. It's a little cheaper. Some payday loans, 300% interest rate, 400 all the way to 1,000. I've seen some in some states was all the way to 1,000, which is crazy. I didn't properly understand how they was able to do that, and they were able to get away for that. So if you're not familiar with the payday loan term, let me help you. Payday loans can also be named cash advance. So you see them in certain minority communities because that's normally where they place them, based off of what the consumer base and what what they are typically are in need of in that certain community. So you won't see them in more established and more middle class and higher class income communities. You won't see a cash advance, a payday loan advance, or they call some of them even call them short-term loans as well. So they strategically put these in places for a certain population because their target is for people that's making $40,000 or less. $40,000 or less. So they strategically put these in these areas. You have to understand what's taking place. So payday loans are also called cash advance. They're also called check advance. They also called short-term loan, and so on and so on. So you have this new app that's available that's called Earn In, and they're trying to make it seem like they are better than payday loans. But as you can see, when I did the numbers, they are the same thing, but a cheaper rate of return, cheaper annual percent. They say they say that they are for us, but in reality it's not. Some advantages for this company, they say they don't charge any fees, but I already explained to you that they use a tipping service, which is not the same as payday loan, but the tipping service allows you to tip to be able to pay back, and they charge a fee for that. Okay, so they say they're fast funding. They also say they no credit check. But you have to take in consideration what's being established. If you continue to go to these places, it's allowing you to have poor financial habits. It's you definitely going to enter your personal information, because not only they use a tipping service, they have to have your geographic location of where you're working. They need that information in the app of your job. So that's the second thing they need. They also need your check-in information. They also need your electronic timesheet. So they're tracking you all the time. Okay. Plus the annual percent. This app allows you to spend your wages before you get paid, because they have your electronic timesheet. They have you actually going to your location, and they know that you're at work or whatever. So they have all this information in your app, and they probably use it for statistical analysis as well, to create the analysis so that they can reach more people, and so that they can target certain people that's suffering. So it's a lot of things that's being taken place. They say that for us, in reality, they are not. They also saying you don't use this for emergencies. But in reality, a lot of people go to payday companies because it's an emergency. But just because they go into a payday loan for emergency does not necessarily mean that the payday corporation and those companies that's housing these, that's allowing these fees to be established, which are big banks like Bank of America and Wells Fargo. You can't necessarily go in there and get a loan, a personal loan. But if you read the fine print and dig deep, you will be able to see that these companies are the holding companies for these payday loan and cash advance places. Okay, also you have to take in consideration is a cycle, so you can continue to have poor financial habits. It's not really teaching you any skills. So you have to know what's taking place. When I did some research, I came to find out that when I say, is it the same as payday companies? You be the judge of that. Because some payday companies they say, okay, the requirements are low. They also say you can access them easy, or you don't have to do a credit check, or it's an unsecured loan. But take into consideration what's being taken place. If you was one of the individuals that can go into a bank to receive a personal loan, you can get a personal loan from a bank. Some people can get 0% interest. Some people can get all the way up to 30% interest in your bank. But on the back end, if you was to go to a payday loan, you're going to be charged. Some places charge you 400% interest, 600, 800%. In some states, I even seen it was 1,000 on that loan. They say it's for emergencies, but if you guys go back and look at the video I did, it's payday loan legalized loan sharking, because the states they're not regulating those properly. They're allowing them to do their own things, because like I said before, if you dig deep, you will see some of the companies that's funding these places are Bank of America, Wells, big, well-known, well-to-do, established companies. They're telling you no, but on the back end, they're still saying yes to these places. They're still allowing you to receive a loan and charging you almost 1,000% on return of that $100, $200, $300, and $400 loan, which is crazy. There's no way possible that they should be getting away with this. It's a predatory cycle of debt. It's like a cycle. You're going in cycles and cycles. Keep getting debt over and over again. If you understand, they don't help with your credit. It's not like they're reporting to the credit bureau, Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. They're saying, hey, they're paying their loans property. No, if you was to go to a bank, they report. But payday loan companies and these other apps that's trying to say they're helping the people, they're not reporting to help you get out of this financial predatory cycle of debt that they're doing. They're not helping. Also, I want to give you guys some examples. I looked in Texas off of a $500 loan in one city in Texas, which was a 14-day that they had to pay the loan back. I looked at it, and they had a 533% interest rate. Now tell me, 533% rate of return off of a $500 loan? How in the name of God are you helping people? I don't understand. Chicago, $500 loan, 14 days repayment plan, 409% rate of return. How are you helping people? Miami, $500 loan, 14 days to repay the loan company that issued the loan, 286% interest. They're not helping the people. So I want you guys to be very clear on, I know I like to talk about stocks, but I like to give you guys some facts as well. Be very clear when you're going into these places, and you may very well have a need. It's always people that has emergency situations that's being taken place. But when these companies say, we're not charging you anything to do this, it's always, how are they getting paid? How are they getting paid? And that's what you have to take in consideration. How are they getting paid? It's always something on the back end. And look, if you decide to use this company, just know it's similar to a payday loan. And I just wanted to make you guys aware of what's taking place. Yes, they're moving away from physical buildings, but they're developing apps to catch you in the predatory debt cycle as well. Education is very important when you're trying to get out of debt. Education is important. I do understand people going to these payday companies because it's a true emergency. But please hear me out. Use proper steps so you'll know what to do in case of an emergency. And try to pay these people off, because they will do judgments on you. They also will try to garnish your wages. There's all kinds of crazy stuff that be going on with these companies. So use precautions when you are dealing with these companies. And That's all I have for you today. My name is Delia, the owner of DNT Investment and Consultant. My website is www.dtinvestmentglobal.com, or you can email me, dtinvestmentglobal@mail.com.